The Hong Kong Monitoring Authority is hosting its third edition of the Global Financial Leaders Investment Summit after the inaugural message that Hong Kong is back and the second message that Hong Kong is living and navigating with complexity. Joining us today is Eddie Yue, Chief Executive of the HKMA, to tell us more. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Eileen.
Can you tell us a little bit more about, how do you think Hong Kong fares in the past 2 years of adjustment after, the COVID-19 pandemic?
Right. In the financial sector, I think Hong Kong has really been doing very well. In fact, even during the pandemic, Hong Kong's financial sector has proven to be highly stable and resilient. If you look at, for example, deposits, between 2019 and 2023, Hong Kong's deposits actually grew by almost 23%. Same story with asset under management in Hong Kong. In those 5 years, including the COVID years, Hong Kong's asset under management grew by more than 30%. So Hong Kong has actually been thriving as an international financial center even during COVID. And that momentum is continuing after our reopening in late 2022. And we are seeing continuing developments in the asset management, wealth, and bond areas. Even in the equity market, which has been a bit of a kind of downbeat in the last 2 years, we are seeing a turnaround. With the announcements coming from the mainland authorities, we are seeing not just the price actions, but also turnover has moved up, and importantly, the IPO activities are coming back. But one thing that we've been quite affected by COVID was perceptions, because Hong Kong was closed during those 2 years. But since we hosted the first financial summit in November 2022, we actually saw a long lines of banks, senior management, their boards. They hold conferences in Hong Kong, bring their clients here. And once they're in Hong Kong, they will understand the vibrancy of Hong Kong and the opportunities here. And we actually see a lot more momentum of both capital and financial institutions coming back to the city. Going forward, I'm still very positive, especially in a few areas where I see a lot of growth potential. Capital markets, not just in equities, but also in bond issuance and trading, with increasing connectivity between China and the world using Hong Kong as a platform under the various Connect schemes. Second area is wealth and asset management. With the rapid rise of family offices in Hong Kong, the Wealth Connect expansion, and also the capital investment schemes, I actually feel that wealth and asset management has a long way to go. The third area is RMB internationalization. Hong Kong is the largest offshore RMB market, and with continuing increasing use of RMB internationally in trade and investment, Hong Kong will stand to benefit greatly. So with these opportunities, the financial institutions, if you look at their offices, their presence here, they're actually expanding, especially in wealth asset management, intermediaries, and also RMB business. So I'm very positive about Hong Kong's role as an international financial center.
So let's talk about the summit. Can you share with what is the key theme of this year's summit? It's the third edition.
Yeah, the theme this year is sailing through changes. Globally, we're actually looking at a lot of changes that brings a lot of different uncertainties. Whether you're talking about changes in the macro financial environment, with the US coming into the rate cut cycle instead of the rate hike cycle in the last 2 years, or when you're talking about changes in geopolitics, when we are seeing different elections happening around the world, and also the military conflicts, both in Ukraine and also in the Middle East, and also changes in climate that we feel every day, changes in the use of technology. This will be big. Not just about the general digitalization, but the use of AI, blockchain, how this will impact the financial industry, or even changes in the supply chain configuration that will have an impact of how international trade is conducted. So we're surrounded by changes, and the main discussion area will be how financial institutions should prepare for themselves for these changes, how they should navigate these changes, how they can build resilience in their own institution to deal with any uncertainties, and importantly, how they can create and seize business opportunities arising from all these changes. So that will be the theme for this year.
So what does the program look like this year?
Well, like last year, the program will start with a welcome dinner on in the evening of the 18th of November. And this time we're bringing them to the heart of Central. And instead of the last 2 years, it was in the West Kowloon Cultural District. We're bringing them to the heart of Central at the ballroom at the top of a new building called the Henderson. And it will be great because what we really want them to have in terms of experience is that every time they come to Hong Kong, they come to a new place for their welcome dinner. So they have this feeling of the vibrancy, new things keep coming up in Hong Kong, a kind of refreshed impression of Hong Kong, and that's what we want to create. And during the dinner, we will have the performances that feature not just the Chinese and Western elements, but importantly, having a very strong Hong Kong flavor. And we will do that for the first evening. The second morning will be the main summit, which will last for the whole morning with different sessions, with heavyweight speakers, and that will end with a fireside chat during lunchtime. And then on the 20th morning, as with last year, we will have a joint conference that we organize together with the Securities and Futures Commission and the Academy of Finance, which is called Conversations with Investors, that will focus on investing and market trends. So it will be one welcome dinner plus 2 half-day conferences.
So this summit will come on the heels of your second term as the HKMA CEO.
Right.
What are some key topics that's at the top of your mind?
Well, at the top of my mind is something that's related to the theme of the summit as well. We are facing a lot of changes globally, and it generates a lot of uncertainties that we need to handle. So my first priority has to be monetary and financial stability. We need to make sure without stability, it's very difficult to think about development. So financial stability is our top priority. Here we're talking about building buffers, whether it's in the FX reserve or whether it's the capital and liquidity buffers in the banking system. And here we're also talking about enhancing our market surveillance abilities, knowing what's happening in the market, how funds are flowing, not just in the on-exchange market, but also in the OTC markets. And here we're also talking about getting prepared, having all kinds of contingency plans, having drills, getting really prepared. But importantly, confidence plays a very big part. How to enhance the market and public confidence in the monetary arrangements in Hong Kong is something that we will continue to work on. But on top of stability, once we've got our work done on financial stability, development is as important as stability. We will continue to focus on our main strategies that we've been pursuing in the last 5 years in terms of market development, which is mainland opportunities, technology, and green. But in the next few years, there will be a slightly different focus. For example, on mainland opportunities, we will continue to focus on, for example, the Connect schemes, RMB internationalization. But for the Connect schemes, the last 5 years might involve quite a bit more on the northbound traffic, which is global investors getting into China's capital markets. But in the next few years, we hope that we can also further expand the southbound market in terms of Chinese corporations, Chinese financial institutions, and importantly, Chinese capital going out into the global markets, with Hong Kong being the base. In technology, we will shift our focus a bit more into tokenization and AI. In green, we will look a lot more at a very new area, which is transition finance, defining what's meant by that, involving in financing some of the transition activities. How can we enable the banks and also the capital markets to do that? So we will be working on similar strategies, but with a different focus.
Got it. Many works to do.
Yes.
So I think, going back to the summit a little bit, how many people are we expecting to attend this year's summit?
This year, we're moving to a slightly bigger venue, which is in Grand Hyatt Hotel. The maximum capacity is 300, and we're already there with a small waiting list. And this year, the response is really overwhelming. The first year, because of COVID, we've got about 60 global CEOs and chairmen joining us. Last year, it was our 30th anniversary. We've got almost 100. But this year so far, we've already got more than 100 global CEOs and chairmen signing up, with some of them not attending the last two. Knowing that there is this big summit, they actually raised their hand and said that they want to join as well. So to us, it's actually a very good thing. So altogether, 300 people, but with more than 100 global CEOs and chairmen of global financial institutions.
Thank you,
Thank you
Eddie,
very
for
much,
sharing
Eddie.
with us. You can learn more about our full conversation by visiting scmp.com.